The reason why your hiring process is suffering, despite the fact that I know and you know that you are incredibly overwhelmed, is because you are trying to do so manually. Here are three automations that you can instill right now to create an ethical hiring process and reduce your load. Hi, my name is Beverly Dines. I'm a chief operating officer who's been scaling operations for over a decade in over 10 industries, which means at many points in my career, I have overseen recruiting and HR teams, so I know firsthand how overwhelming these processes can be. It is really hard to have ethical hiring processes when leadership gives you unrealistic deadlines, when you have 600 plus applications in your inbox. You're also trying to interview candidates ethically and give them a fair shot while also coordinating a ton of schedules with hiring managers who do not make it easy. Maybe you don't have a dedicated recruiter or don't even have an ATS yourself. So then the byproduct is that you're ghosting candidates or you're not following up the way you should. Not because you're a bad leader, because you don't care. It's because you're drowning and you don't have the infrastructure to come up above the surface. And if you try to advocate for it, you feel like it falls on deaf ears. So here are three things to help you automate your process and center empathy within it. The first automation are honest templated rejection responses. You are going to type out a response. You can also use AI to support this if you like. That is going to be templated, and you're going to have that template for every stage of the process. One for an auto rejection, one for the first round, one for the second, one for the third. You're going to put that in a Google Doc, and then you can copy paste if you don't have an ATS. I cannot tell you how much significant time it has saved myself and the recruiting team by having that in a shared Google Drive that we all have been able to use, so that not only does the candidate get a response from us that feels tailored because it's after each round, we can use and reuse that templated space as much as we want to because we've created it so it becomes a sustainable system for our team. The second tip is to set up autoresponders to begin with. If your organization is using websites like LinkedIn or Indeed or other spaces, they already have embedded infrastructure for you to be able to just turn on a toggle and submit a automated response. So then the folks who are not going to move forward in your process are not lying in wait, especially in the strenuous hiring market. And the third thing, and probably the most important, automate your secondary hiring pool. If you've screened a bunch of candidates and haven't found the right one, before you repost another posting, which is then going to have another flood of candidates coming through, go back into the ATS and scan those resumes to become your secondary hiring pool. I cannot tell you how many times I have found incredibly qualified and quality candidates that the ATS accidentally miscategorized that then became the next list of candidates. You've saved time, you've saved overwhelm, your employer brand improves, your hiring speed improves, and you're not drowning in new applications. And by inputting these systems, you're going to save yourself and your team hours of extra work, also centering empathy and ethics in your hiring process. And if you're currently drowning in your hiring processes, but you know you want to be a part of the difference, comment below to grab a one-on-one with me because you deserve a hiring process that doesn't overwhelm you, and candidates deserve processes that don't ghost them. Comment below if these tips were helpful, and let's keep getting to work.